G'day everyone, it's Teenick back here in Transport Fever. You join me just outside of Minneapolis. We're watching our Ventura line / Minneapolis line, I can't remember what it's called, departing the station there, slowly, with some chickens in the background. Gotta love those chickens. Now this line here is using the aging General rolling stock, also known as the General. There he goes. And yeah, the old Pullman carriages. So they're starting to look a bit dated now that we're moving into the era of the Atlantic, which is running on our main line. And if I zoom in, I should be able to find that's a freight train. I was hoping I could luck out and find one of the Atlantics we built last time, but oh, God knows where they've gotten to. Is this one climbing the hill here? No, it's not. It's the river line, but he is going into his little turn back to let one of the Atlantics go around the outside. So this makes for a nice scene. We'll watch this unfold, I reckon. Actually, no, let's watch it unfold from the station, because otherwise the General's going to stop quite short. How is the river line doing now that I think about it? It's not doing too bad now. Let's have a look. Yep. Okay, so it's still hemorrhaging money, but hopefully things will pick up now that we've actually got a reason for people to travel on it, because the main line goes the long way. And here is our gleaming new Atlantic rolling in with its brand new heavyweight passenger carriages that it struggles to lift up the hill. Yep, hemorrhaging money as expected, but that's okay. Everything will come good eventually. But yeah, that's our new train that we built last time. But we started off in Minneapolis for a very important reason. Now, one of the things I'd like to do today is I'd like to sort of consolidate some of our lines. So I'm thinking, instead of running a goods train from the factory to Minneapolis and then a separate train from Minneapolis down to the abattoir and then a separate train from the abattoir over to Ventura, we just make it one route with many trains, which means we can sort of take this opportunity to modernize it, and we can hopefully free up a platform or two down here, because at the moment we've got 4 lines running in. Tucson to Sinbad obviously is an important one. The Sinbad to Orange Ventura line, that's one we're going to address. Sinbad to Boston probably can't do much with, and Sinbad to Minneapolis we will do something with. But we have a lot of food waiting to go to Boston, so that's another line I'd like to sort of consolidate on the theme of consolidating lines. But the first thing we need to do if we're going to consolidate anything is sort of correct our goods terminal here at Minneapolis. Correct? I don't know if that's the right word. I'll correct myself by saying we need to connect it up better. Because at this end, it's sort of a bit of a dead-end siding. It's not properly connected up for through trains, and same at this end. And here we have one of our Rockford line, Minneapolis line trains rolling in, while another Ventura line train departs in sort of a Groundhog Day type moment. So the first thing I'll do is I'll extend these 2 platforms out to junction in just short of the crossing here to sort of free up a bit of space over here. Now, where are the other trains? There's one coming into the station here. So I might actually stop you so I don't have to pause the game for an extended period of time. I don't know who's whistling or what they're whistling about, but someone's clearly unhappy. But with him stopped, I don't think there's any trains coming down the hill, are there? No. We should be pretty right to just have a quick rebuild of this junction. We are going to confuse the hell out of everyone, but we should get away with it. I say that with full optimism. So if we run this track out here a bit, run it out a bit more, keeping it straight, keeping it free and easy, we should be able to now merge in here just short of this crossing. Yes, like that. That is exactly what I wanted to do, and it's now corrected itself. Everyone is happy again. Is that too much of a hill there coming? It's a bit of a bump coming out of the platform there. We can probably fix that if we're quick. Now that we've got the connection lined up how we want it. Yeah, there we go. That's corrected that little bump there, so that's good. I don't like a bump. But yeah, so now what we can do is we can use this newly discovered space to build a better junction in here. Although this street here is going to get... Roads Vehicle 63 is going to interrupt us by being a pain in the ass. You're on the Columbia City Circle. Well, let's just quickly step in and replace you with some buses. Off you go. We should probably actually look at some of these older City Circle routes and see if they're still up to the task. So with the freight train having departed, we can quite willingly flatten this whole section here. We'll keep that. No, we'll get rid of that signal because we'll probably need to move it anyway. But what we need to do is we now need to drag this track in over here somewhere. But of course, this road's going to interfere with this track joining up. So, no, I want you to. Yeah, okay. So how far along you can get to there without being a problem. And now hopefully you can get along to. Are you going to snap? You are going to snap. And of course you're going to put an ugly junction in. Why wouldn't you? Yay! Yeah, okay, a more elegant solution is required. And oh, whoops! I bulldozed that bit of road. What a shame. I did secretly think it would come to that at some point, so it was on the cards. I'm sorry I didn't let you in on it sooner. So what if we build it down there to get up to the same height? Then we can put a junction in. And okay, yeah, there's a bit of a weird curve there, but I'm hoping we can now demolish back. There we go, that's what I wanted to do, so that we've got a smoother approach down into the station. There we go. Now, for now, I'll double slip that. That's obviously a very short-term solution because the freight train just needs to access platform 2 at the moment. So we've got our home signal here. That's now a one-wayer, so we don't block the crossing. Look at all the private cars we got mixing up with our trucks, though. That's kind of cool. And we'll throw a couple of signals down on this route here, and that has the added advantage too. If we get 2 trains coming down to this platform here for Ventura, they don't actually block the main line there. But we will put another signal down protecting these points, which will block this junction here, but I don't think it'll block it too bad. And we'll throw a one-wayer down there as well. And now that one we'll have to remember to make a one-wayer at a later date. Now, that's this end of the junction fixed up. I'm really sorry about all the houses I had to demolish, but, well, it didn't cost us much, so I'm not too fussed about the financial side of things. The next thing we need to do is improve this junction here and decide if we want to have a stop in Nashville or not. I'm inclined to say no, because we're sort of treating Nashville as a bit of a workers' centre for working, because we're bringing fuel down here. And how is the job situation in Nashville going? That's a bus. No, I want to click on the town name. There we go. 17%. Okay, so we got a lot more scope to deliver fuel down there. So, in fact, we might actually just quickly chuck another couple of trucks on while I think of it. Where's our road vehicle depot? We built it all the way out here. Good for us. We planned ahead. And we'll go with another couple of Cannstadts or whatever. We are in Nashville, and we want Nashville deliveries. Good. So, yeah, free of the obligation to provide a freight terminal in Nashville. Nashville itself is really growing nicely, though. That is a really decent-sized town. So is Minneapolis, though, to be fair. But yeah, so we need to work on this connection up this end with the eye towards getting more consumer goods in here. And we won't get more consumer goods in there unless we can make more deliveries, so I'll throw more trucks on. That's a tram depot. That's a truck depot. I'll throw another 4 Cannstadts on Minneapolis deliveries as well. There you go. And they will also slow down too as they start to get caught in traffic more and more often. Yeah, so with those trucks underway, we'll need to work on this end of the junction. So I don't know where the freight train is that uses that. I don't think it's... Is that you? Yeah, it's still a little way away. God, it's not carrying much though. Why is it bringing food? Oh, God knows. Let's just quickly step in with Bobby the bulldozer here, and hopefully we can redress this before that train shows up and gets really upset with me. So if I can get you to sort of snap like that, and then that should give us plenty of room on the level to build a proper junction. And then we can just redo what we did last time where we smooth it out by rebuilding the tracks up from the actual junction. This is a strategy I did not know you could do. But now that I do know I can do it, I am obsessed with it. So cool. He can now do what he wants, and unfortunately he is going to get quite lost. Oh, he wants to do a big circle, does he? God knows where he's coming from. Let's just actually scope this route out. So because of that new junction, he has decided he wants to run a giant circle. God, where's he come from here? No, is he corrected himself? Has he? No, he wants to run from Rockford South all the way around via Boston, because I've obviously set the track up in a method that he doesn't like. So we might need to put a temporary turnout in here just to keep him happy until we set up our new route. to correct things. So that should fix things up there. But yeah, so obviously these will be one-way tracks each way. And how are we doing for platform space up here? No, we're doing all right, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the purple line. So what platform is the purple line using at the moment? So we'll close that down. So line 1, we want to use platform 3. Good. Okay, so get back line 1. No, get back line 1. Good. Okay. So line 1 will start at Rockford South, which is the factory. It will then run down to Minneapolis. Yep, good. It's so far managed to pick the wrong platform, so we're off to a good start. He's then going to come up via San Bernardino. We probably could put a freight terminal in at San Bernardino. I think we've got the room. Although I reckon this would do well just as a residential hub, because it's. We never actually put a city circle in there. I should probably do that. Because it's sort of well positioned for shopping in Tucson, Minneapolis, not so much Orange because there's no direct connection, but Boston. So I don't think we'll ship any freight in there. So we'd then like him to come in here. Again, he's managed to pick a completely inappropriate platform, but that's fine because he's then going to come down to Orange. He's picked an inappropriate platform again. And finally terminate down here at Ventura. Good. And then we just need to retrace our steps again. Actually, we don't need to stop at Orange on the way back because we're just carrying cattle at that point. So our next stop will be the abattoir. And you've decided to use the same platform again. We will have to fix all of the platform choices the game has made for us because they're all wrong and I don't like them. You've corrected to pick the right platforms here, which is very good of you. And then all you really need to do is come back up to the factory, which you have done. So we'll call this, I don't know what we'll call it. We need to give it a fancy name. We can't just call it food goods. Actually, I guess we can, because that is what it is. Goods. No, we'll call it something fancy. We'll call it mainline freight. No, that doesn't make any sense, because what if we have other mainline freights? We'll call it Minneapolis. Interstate. And apparently train 14 is having a bit of a problem. Train 14, what are you? You're a plastic goods train, and boy, you're getting a bit old. Hold out for me, buddy. We're going to do something to your line too, which will probably involve modernising you anyway. But yeah, with Minneapolis interstate freight sorted, we'll make sure all the terminals are right. We fix Rockford. We've fixed Minneapolis. It's Orange, San Bernardino Abattoir we need to really correct. So I would like you using platform 1 on the outbound run. Yes, good. Yeah, that's fine. Because that way, we're avoiding crossing over tracks unnecessarily because we're using the outside most tracks. And we'll have to keep that one. We'll probably divert him to a different platform. Sinbad, Orange, Ventura. That line there is getting superseded anyway, so that line and that line will get superseded, so we can probably shift you down to 2, and that everything else should be fine. Good. Now over at Orange, you're using the right platform, and then Ventura, you don't get a choice. But yeah, this seems like an opportunity to modernise sort of all of these trains, because we're currently running the Baldwin on it, and I would rather move over to the Moguls so we can get sort of faster freight moving. We could go to the Atlantic. 100 tractive effort as opposed to 80, 700 power, but I just don't think it's worth the money because we are still hauling heavy freight trains. It's just we've moved sort of beyond the Baldwin in terms of how much freight we're moving. So we'll go with the Mogul. We don't have any. Oh, we do have a new boxcar we can build. Oh, wacko! And yeah, we'll definitely be getting some of those in. So we're looking for 160 meters of train. That's 161. 149, 132 capacity though. That is, significantly more. So that's good. I don't know how many trains we're replacing. Actually, we should probably look that up. So that's one of the lines. Sinbad, Orange, Ventura. What's the other lines we're replacing? Food goods to Minneapolis. We're replacing that line, and we're replacing the one that goes up to Rockford as well. That would be this one here. So we are replacing 3 trains here and 1 train on each of these. Oh, they're actually already Moguls, and Well, that one's 17 years old, so that one will probably get the chop. But this one we can repurpose, and these guys will probably just get the chop because I don't think we need bald ones anymore, to be perfectly honest. But so we're replacing 3, 4, 5 trains, so we'll go with a total of 6, I guess. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, autosave's going to interrupt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we still got 6. I hope I wanted them to come out of Orange Train Depot. Yeah, I kind of did. And we'll set you guys up on, what did we call it? We called it the Minneapolis Interstate Freight. There we go. So those guys will now all go forth and take over from these older lines. So we now bring the line window up. And we now need to find those particular lines and get rid of them. So the first one, Cattle, Food, Sinbad, Orange, Ventura. Making a good profit, but all vehicles to depot for sale, please. Sinbad to Minneapolis, I will keep. Why did I close that window? That was kind of stupid. Food Goods, Sinbad to Minneapolis, you can just go to a depot and we will reuse you. And this one here, why do I keep closing that window? I'm just a bit of a goose, aren't I? You're actually losing money anyway, so you can go off and get sold. And then we need to remove these redundant lines now. So that was one of them. Delete. That was another one. Delete. And that was one there. Delete. So hopefully all of the freight waiting to go to its destination should automatically detect. Yeah, see, there you go. It's automatically gone, well, okay, I can't get on the line I was using, but now I will. We've created quite a queue coming out of the depot, haven't we? That is an impressive looking piece of train, though. Virginia and Truckee. Now, I've heard of that, sure. But yeah, so as these trains roll out, they're actually quite a bit shorter than I would have expected. How big did we build the station anyway? Okay, that doesn't say how long it is. That's only 80. We built them at 160, didn't we? So that is the longest train we can have. So the next step we need to do is to expand some of these stations. How big are you? You are... oh, sorry. What you're seeing is you're seeing the effects of another mod I've installed, the bigger stations mod. So as you can see, we can potentially have a 1 kilometer long station if we really wanted to. What we do is we now set a platform length and then we can extend it by however much. So the maximum we can build is 200 meters, and then of course we can extend it by 200 if we wanted to. So no, I think this station is significantly bigger. So I don't know how we figure out how much bigger with this new mod. It's somewhere in the realms of something. I think that's the right length. So what would that be? 240 meters. Okay. Well, that's how big that station is. So if we upgrade our other stations, Orange and Ventura, to 240 meters, we can lengthen those trains in time. But for now, I'll just stick with putting more trains on because obviously that's going to get pretty messy. Now we've got double track up here, good, in case the trains start queuing. So that's fine. That's one of our freight lines we wanted to address. Now the other freight line I wanted to address was, we've got the Boston to Rockford line here for the goods, the plastic, and whatever else it wants to transport. But I thought, why not connect up the food line as well and do the same logic? So it starts at the factory, comes down to Boston, goes over to the abattoir, back to Boston, and back to the factory via the chemical plant. So again, same logic as before. We replace 2 lines with 1, and therefore it's easier to sort of micromanage the trains we're running on it. So the first order of business is to make sure we can actually use the platform, the station rather, at Boston for that purpose as opposed to turning around. And look, we've got a couple of blank tracks there, so that should be fine. So what I'll do is I'll again set up a new line using the existing platforms. So hang on, what platform are we using here? Plastic goods is on platform 2. So we will start a new line using platform 2 here, and apparently it's gone with red as the color to replace the now missing line. So our next stop, we won't be coming through here, or will we? No, we will, because we're stopping off to drop off goods, aren't we? Oops, something's complaining. Line 1 is, well, line 1 we haven't finished yet, so it can report as many problems as it wants, and I don't care. Now, this does seem like a good opportunity to put a proper freight terminal in Tucson, to avoid having to send all the freight all the way down via San Bernardino. So let's just put this on the back burner, and we will we'll sort of set about doing that as well. So the trains will be coming in on these middle tracks here, so that, well, in fact, there's one now. Oh, you're looking a bit dated. Are you the old one? You're the old one. Oh, you poor thing. Well, don't worry, we're going to replace you soon. So they're coming through on the middle tracks now, and then they're having this sort of fancy merge down here. I mean, you can see this Atlantic here making the turn now, and I'm quite happy with this merge, so I'm going to leave it. Although we've got this weird little sort of, I guess you call it a dog leg or a swan neck or something there. But we've got plenty of land out here, where I reckon we're remiss if we don't put a freight terminal down, and then we can just run trucks into this truck stop here. So, you know, that's an option we can exercise. There's another mod I've introduced, the Ultimate Station mod. Whoop, we've gone too far, which lets us build some pretty wacky station designs. So, you know, maybe eventually this will become a triangle station because it suits the junction better. I don't know, but we're here to build a freight station. That is a very short freight station and would be a complete waste of our time. But it does show you the potential for the bigger stations mod, because you can also make smaller stations. So for the early years, you can just, you know, make a really little station. Apparently, we now can't pick the station design era anymore. We're limited to 1850. But that's fair enough, because that's the one I wanted to build anyway. Max street length we'll put down to 0. Good God, look at all these options for underground track. We're definitely not building any of those. So we're going to want 2 platforms. We're going to want 160 meters to start with, but we're probably going to go up to, what did we say? 240 we wanted, so 40 plus 200. It's a bit of a roundabout way to do it, but it works. So if we put it in, where's a reasonably flat bit of land? Can we get the contours up? Yeah, okay, so we might want to put it on a bit of a slope, because if we put it here, we've got a big gouge out of the land. So talk to me about sloping. Where was that option? I know that's an option. Maybe the option has been removed. I did enjoy having that option. Here we go. Elevation offset station slope. Okay. Nope, that's the wrong way. That's a bit better. What if we go to 2? That's even more better. That's more betterer. That's too much across like that. Let's just try and line it up as well as we can with the passenger trains. Bearing in mind we will be quad tracking eventually. Although we'll probably quad track on the other side. Let's just throw it down there and hope for the best. Yeah, that looks all right. Now we just need to connect it up. I said we will just connect it up. Connect. Okay, well, it's going to be difficult, so we'll try it this way. That's good. Now we're going to end up with an ugly... We do have a bit of an ugly junction, but that's okay, because we'll just do the same trick we did last time, where we remove that and then build it like that and end up in exactly the same boat. Okay, clearly we did something different last time to get a better junction. What we'll do is we'll just put it out like this. Someone is excited about the new track. It's probably this freight train coming up here. I'm assuming it's, or maybe it's this Atlantic. It does sound like a deeper, more manly Atlantic type whistle. I think they're saying hello to each other. Isn't that nice? Either that or they're yelling at me for messing with their junction. But apart from these carriages phasing into existence, that looks quite neat. And then instead of joining up to the track again, we'll just come down and join straight onto the freight junction down here, because I'm pretty sure they're the only freight trains we're using. Yeah, it's just the goods / plastic train that's using that. So we can redo this junction here coming directly from this freight station up here. That means we're going to end up with eventually 6 tracks down here. Oh, isn't that saucy? Don't you just tingle at the thought of it? I do, but I'm weird, so, you know, what are you going to do? We'll bodgy that road out for a bit, and we'll try and connect this track up. I realise we're not snapping the tracks together, but I figure, well, they're separate tracks, so we probably don't need to. So if you could form a level crossing that is... You know, I really only have myself to blame because the tracks are on 2 different heights, so we're going to... Sorry about that, Mr. Train. What we're going to do is we're going to... Where's this road even go? It goes up to some sawmill. So there's probably not much point in putting a really expensive bridge in. I kind of want to just for the aesthetics of it. That's a bridge that has occurred. That's a higher bridge. I don't know why I thought that'd be a good idea. You know what? I don't even hate that. I think that actually works well with the landscape that we've got going on. And we can make it sort of a... What are options? Make it sort of a brown, a dark stone. It is a bit tall, isn't it? I like the idea of it though. I'm not opposed to that notion. So if we run this road down here, maybe we can get a slightly smaller bridge in if we autosave can interrupt again. No, that's arguably worse. Okay. What if we try and manually build a bridge? You know, to get over it. Nothing says transport fever like getting distracted, does it? So if you could keep it on the flat, raise up a little. No, keep it on the flat. Will you put a bridge in? You don't really want to, do you? I mean, I don't even need a bridge here. I just want one. There we go. That's going to put a bridge in. Again, it's a bit tall, but no, keep it on the flat. Okay. So if we try and keep it flat, we have to put a hump in it to get a bridge in to make it happy. Unless we can we raise it up a little bit more here? Well, that texture's doing some weird stuff in the middle there. What if we back it back a bit and we sort of bring it up here and okay, so that's going to be a bit higher. Now it's definitely going to build a bridge, but it's kind of the opposite of what I wanted. No, okay, we're just abandoning the bridge concept. I don't think it's going to work. It had potential, but we're just going to pretend that never happened, and we're just going to rebuild this road as cheaply as possible with a couple of level crossings because it's not like we're going to need it anyway. I see. That's definitely happening. What if we now connect you up? There you go, you're happy with that. So you don't mind having a couple of level crossings in there, and we'll just remove this embarrassing experiment. Blight on the landscape, you could call it, and pretend that there was never a road there to begin with. I don't know what you're talking about. There was never a road there. Good, okay, so that's sort of that problem out. Now we sort of need to, train 15 has reached its lifetime. What train are you? Oh, you're on the crude fuel route, Boston to wherever the hell you go. Oh, we'll have to deal with you in good time. But first I kind of want to finish this junction off. Now, it does snap down here. Now, I'm going to hit the cheeky pause button and just get rid of everything here. Get rid of the scenery. Get rid of the whole junction. I'm hoping I haven't actually trapped a goods train. I have. I've trapped a goods train. Okay, well done me. So now they are going to have to snap back together because I'm going to have a set of points in to help that goods train get out of the trapping that I trapped it in. Why are you not snapping to that? You are now. Keep snapping. Snapping time is now over. Okay, good. Thought we were going to have a problem there. Thought we were going to have words. Yeah, so we're going to need to refit in a set of crossovers here just for that one goods train that I didn't check to see if he was clear before I started ripping his track up. Now, you're happy. Good, so the goods train is now happy, and we'll leave those points there just in case of future purpose, but I'd say make sure Tucson Holt is connected to the street network. Yeah, good point. That is a very valid point, and one I will not argue with at all. In fact, we want to connect it up over here to give our trucks the shortest distance to have to drive. So if you could connect up like that, that would be fine. Thank you, helpful warning. We'll need to rejig some signals down at this junction here. So I'll throw a one-wayer in there, throw a one-wayer in there. Yeah, I know, right? We'll leave that signal there. It's probably going to serve no purpose, but it might help us at some point. Or hinder things. Either way, don't know. That's a bit of a funny... No, it just looked weird when I zoomed out. Never mind. So I'll throw a couple of signals in here, a couple in here, bring some down here, and we'll need to signal up this crossover that we put in here. So that signal functions perfectly well. That signal there, same deal. I'll drop this one in here and make it a one-way, and then we'll drop one in here. Again, these points won't get used moving forward, but while we're still setting things up, we will need to make sure we don't remove functionality from our current train. So you're bringing a decent load of goods. You should make some good money, and you're taking out literally nothing. Oh, because you're going to the depot to be sold. Okay. Why did I replace you? Oh, that's right. You're one of the bloody livestock trains that we've sent to the depot. Yeah, because I'm thinking that's a fairly modern engine. Why did I get rid of it? Modern, well, new. It's not rusty, put it that way. If it's not rusty, it's still new in my books. this 2-track here is going to become quite the choke point in the future, and I'm pleased to see the town has expanded out to sort of make sure that I can't. In fact, what we might do is, how much are we looking at? Yes, okay. I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to do a thing that is definitely not going to be cheap. We'll leave those buildings there for now. We'll see how we go. Actually, no, we won't. We'll get rid of them. I want as much run up as possible. Yeah, that cost a fortune, and probably did not endear us to the town at all. Can you just build out straight, please? You can. Good. Okay. We're gonna have to remove another building there. But I want to future-proof this bridge right now. No, I don't want to do that. I want to try and see what it's going to do. It's going to construction not possible me. Okay. Well, I can see why that's not possible, to be fair. That's a veritable roller coaster of emotion. We may have to do this one manually. So, let's talk up angle. That's probably too much of an up angle. Now, are you going to... Okay, well, you want to build an absolutely awful bridge. Okay, that's not on. Okay. What we might have to do is bulldoze this back. Now that we've gotten rid of that house, it might be more accommodating. Maybe, possibly. No. Could you... Any bridge? I just want to get a basic bridge in place. I fear I've made a grave mistake by bulldozing that road. Okay, so we want to come up at an angle like that, and hopefully it'll connect up now. No, it really doesn't want to connect. What is your problem? Is it this intersection here? Because I'm not attached to that intersection at all. See, I just got rid of it. No, you're not even giving me a reason construction isn't possible. And that's what hurts the most. Just tell me the truth and we can work through this together. Yeah, okay. That's not ideal. Good, okay, so you want to put a bridge in there. That's more ideal. If we flatten it out. Okay, no, we can't really put a hump in it. Okay, so we're going to have to come back. And we're going to have to go up on more of an angle. Now, are you going to build a bridge? You are. Are you going to flatten out? You are going to build a bridge. That's the important thing. It's a completely illegal bridge, but it's definitely we're definitely making progress. Again, with the construction not possible. What is the limiting factor here? You don't want to go past the railway line, and I don't know why. I'm going to take a punt here and get rid of the railway line as well. I'm very much going to regret this, I know. But we need to future-proof this, and all we're doing is putting a bump in there. Okay, so let's just... That's a noise that happened. Let's just smooth all the land out. We've still got plenty of money in the bank, so that's okay. That's not how I wanted to build that road in the slightest. Nor is that. That kind of is. Okay, bridge me. It just doesn't want to build a bridge in this area for some reason. I have no idea why. What about a tunnel? Will you entertain a tunnel? You will. Okay, so maybe we're gonna have to go under our railway line. I don't understand this. So if you could come out like that. What if you... No, you won't even entertain the thought. What is wrong with you? We might have to stick with a level crossing here. I don't see any way around it. It will not let us build a bridge. Which is really annoying, because I really wanted to build a bridge so I could get over my railway line. So, build the road out like that. Now, no, you won't even entertain the thought of a bridge, and I don't understand why. There's no scenery, there's no railway line in the way. You're just being a jerk. There's no other way to say it. You're a jerk. A jerky jerk. What if we... Here we go. Now it's being a bit more kind. Okay, so it's just connecting to that road it doesn't like. Okay, good. We can't have less of it. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be deeply unpopular, but we're going to build that to start with. We're going to build the cheapest one possible. Yeah, good. Now, you might be thinking, why the heck did you build that? Because it gets us the approaches we want on either side. So now if I connect it up, I should be able to lower it in a much flatter bridge. It's still a very long bridge, but it's a much flatter bridge. And we'll go with this number, I think. Yeah, that looks nice. Now, it is overkill, but bear with me, because I'm now going to back off this part of the bridge. Because I've got the main part of the bridge is what I wanted. I wanted the bridgey part. So if I do that, we get a far more attractive bridge approach. Now this is going to take a bit of money to get right, because now I need to correct this approach here. But yeah, by doing it in stages, I've noticed we can get a far more pleasing sort of bridge shape out of it without actually having to have a giant sort of arch in the middle of it. So we'll connect that up like that, and then we'll try and lower that down a bit like that. So we've still got a bit more bridge here than I kind of wanted, but I'm gonna be able to live with that, I think. So we'll connect all this up here, and we'll connect up that with some medium street action, seeing as we've sort of paved part of it. And now that's put a weird hump in there, so we'll just back that off and try again. And that should smooth out reasonably, yeah, a little bit. Still a lot taller of a bridge, and there's actually a pillar right in the way of where I wanted to put train tracks, so that's hardly ideal. So what if we now that we've got the bridge concept, I realise I probably just ruined it by removing the middle part. No, it will accede to our wishes. So now let's talk quad track, because I do want to quad track this eventually. So, no, just, okay. Because I figure if I put the track in, the bridge might be more willing to put its stanchions in, or supports in, or whatever you want to call them, where I want them to go. And if I lower that, oh, I can even get it that low, but we'll go there. Now I get rid of these humps at the end. I know, bear with me, this is getting ridiculous, but I think we shouldn't have a hump there anymore. No, we don't. See, now we're going to get a most attractive bridge in the style and shape that I want, without having too much of a problem. No, what have I done? No, I don't want to change the type of bridge there. No, okay. We'll start again, because I've clearly done something the game doesn't like. Yes, like that, please. And that should be fine. Yeah, so again, it's a bit. I've got a bit more of a hump in this end that I'd like, and I'm gonna be picky, because if we're gonna spend all the money, I probably backed off too much bridge there than I really wanted to. Hopefully that. There we go. That's done it. Look at that. That is the type of bridge we all deserve. And through persistence, not taking no for an answer, and a heck of a lot of bulldozing, we have accomplished, you know, our goal. And we can even squeeze a little road in underneath, probably. We can sort of squeeze a road in underneath. I'd like to keep it on the level, please. On the level. Okay, it's not going to keep it on the level. Let's try this. No, I want to keep it flat, please. Thank you. That's good. So now we need to connect this road up to something, obviously. So will that connect around like that? It sort of wants to. I can see it trying. We just need to. No. There we go. One building will be demolished. I'm okay with that. God knows we've demolished enough shit already. And now we can send the town sort of out in this direction. We keep it hugging the landscape. But that's good. That's good. And now we've got potential to put another passenger station in over here somewhere, in case the town does expand out in this direction. And likewise, we can put more roads in on this side and whatever. In fact, now that I've built this cool freight junction, I might actually move the freight junction. Although, how will that connect up to here? I don't know. No, look, we'll leave it for now. We'll wait until we actually want a quad track. Although, no, as I said, it is going to become a bit of a bottleneck. We'll wait for these trains to clear, and then we'll try and connect these two tracks up. In fact, we can connect them up at this end, because we're not doing anything. Good thing we got that junction right, am I right? Yeah? Complete waste of time. So let's run, yeah, I know, whistle. So let's run the quad tracks down. Why are you not snapping? Could you snap, please? Please be snapping. And I should be able to fit, if I've positioned this right, another track in here. I can, good. That is exactly what I wanted. I'm hoping they will both fit in all the way alongside. They will, good. Oh, we're so close. Oh, the ruddy station's going to be in the way. Okay, well, quad tracking won't be happening past the freight station then, because we're going to have to sort of scooch the tracks over a bit to accommodate. So we'll just run this track in like this, and this track in like that. And that's good, and that will let us improve this junction. Would all the trains please just get out of the way? Actually, let's before we do anything, let's just stop you and use you as a bit of a roadblock while we let all the other trains get out of the way. So is there anyone else coming into the station? No, we should be pretty safe to activate bulldozer now. So we'll back off all of this. Oh, that was such a nice junction, but it's all gone now. Apparently someone's trying to get... No, don't you... No, bad town. Don't you dare do that. That is not what I want you to do. The town just thought, oh, he got rid of his railway line. No, bad town. So, I'd like to connect that track up like that first. Okay. I'd now like to connect this track up to there, and that'll work. Good. And now we'll just connect this track up into this one. Can we get a more attractive junction than that? No, that's sort of all she wrote, isn't it? But that's okay. So who's complaining? Train 4 is complaining. Oh, it's because you can't get to the depot. Well, that's fair enough. We've at least fixed up all the problems we've created. And we'll set up a bit of a ladder crossover here for trains to get in and out of this particular depot. We'll set up another set of points there. Again, don't anticipate those points will be used terribly often, but they're just there for flexibility's sakes. But yeah, that's fixed that junction. And now you're going to be very lost because you can't actually get onto the track you want to get on. So I'll just give you a sort of an escape route track there, which we will then demolish. Because you obviously want to get into the middle platforms to keep going down this way. But yeah, so for now, all trains that aren't going to Gainesville will now divert off onto these tracks. And eventually when it's quad tracked, you know, all will be fine. But for now, it's just that initial settling in period. Who's stopping? Why is someone stopping? That's just that freight train. That's okay. That's good. It's good. It's good. It's fine. So hang on. We want to have it come off to about there. And come in about there. And that's made one heck of an ugly junction. So we will now back that off. And hopefully... No, it's still going to be ugly. Okay. We need to find a better solution to this. What if we bring you down... Do you want to snap? You don't want to snap, do you? No, we need you to... Okay. That's a bit better. That's good. I'm okay with this. Yeah, that snaps nicely. I did not think we'd be going to this much effort, by the way, just to extend a freight train. But, well, we've decided to include Tucson. And as soon as that train gets into the depot, we can rebuild this depot track. Boy, Tucson's becoming a major interchange, isn't it? There's train track literally bloody everywhere. So you're going to the depot. That's good. If you could... hurry up with that going to the depot, that'd be even better. We'll need to put in some signals while he's doing that. We'll make that a one-way signal. We'll drop in a one-way signal here for trains to wait to get to the main line. And we'll drop in one there. But yeah, as I was saying, eventually this quad track will extend all the way down to Boston. I think it will be 6 tracks with the freight line, now that we've split that off as well. So we just need this. Why are you going this way to get into the bloody depot? Which depot are you even going to? Are you still going to this depot? Let's have a look. Incoming. You're going to Tucson train depot. Okay, well you've managed to take a very roundabout route, and I'm not happy about it, but I'm going to have to live with it because we need to get rid of the points you're going to use. Although actually we can get rid of these points here quite quickly. Yeah, I know, right? So now we should be able to merge across like that. It should be all pretty flat. There's a lot more whistling occurring. Everyone is most upset about what I've been doing. But I think we've done it. I think we've connected everything up we need to. And I think it's actually going to work. Famous last words, I know. So I need to throw down a signal at the end here. Yes. And we'll need to put a signal down for the passenger train as well. Wish we had gantry signals in this game. I'm pretty sure there are mods available to get gantry signals, but yeah, it's not something I've found just yet. So the only problem is getting trains from here over to the depot, but any train on this track will be on this track to get to the depot anyway, so we don't actually need a set of points in for him. I think that's right. I think we just need to populate the signals now. So we'll throw in one here. We've got one there. We've got one there. We probably need a couple. We'll use this funny little blank spot of ballast here where we ran out of ballast. to put a few more down like this. Yeah, we'll put some there. That's not too close to the junction, no. And we'll drop one down there. That's good. And then we just need to signal up this junction here. So this track here is no longer required. Everyone should be quite happy. Yep, no lines reporting errors. Autosave doing its thing. So if we did have errors and the game crashed, we could try and pick up halfway through the problem solving, which would be just swell. I'll drop a signal in there as well, please. Everyone is getting really horny today. Okay, I heard it as soon as I said it. Not taking it back. So you are the plastic goods train that's about to be replaced. Where else can we put some signals? We can probably put a signal in protecting this platform here to let trains close up a bit. We'll drop a one-wayer in here too, just to make sure no one comes out of the depot with any ideas. What else? So we've got a one-way there. No, we should be right for having re-signaled that junction. Looking at the map, we've got signals in everywhere. So now that we've finally addressed that freight station, we'll put a truck stop in and actually get the route connected up, and then we can actually build this bloody freight line. Or rather finish this freight line. So he should be right to go into Tucson truck stop. That catches a large portion of the town. In fact, that actually catches a lot of industrial area too. Are we shipping industrial stuff to Tucson? No. Look, eventually when we're shipping machines and tools down here, they will probably try and get off at this station here and go into Tucson as well. So I'm not even unhappy about that. I will leave this truck route in here because I think the food will all still try and come in on this route because it is the shorter route. But we'll call this Tucson deliveries. What are we going to call this? We'll call this goods deliveries because it's likely just going to be goods because obviously the food won't be coming in this way. And then the other one we will call, no, I don't want trains, I want everything, and I only want visible. The other one we will call Tucson food deliveries. We'll probably end up with some goods and food on both. That says FOD deliveries, T-Nick. What are you doing? Food deliveries with 2 O's. And it appears as if everyone wants to use a different lane going over the bridge. The advantages of very wide streets, I guess. I don't think we can actually widen the street further in town though without... Oh no, we can. I'm just thinking in terms of private cars. We want to make sure that we're not... In fact, we could probably put trams in Tucson. That's add it to the to-do list. That's one of those things that we can do. Can we get a slightly better road coming out here now that we're getting faster trucks? Let's just do that. Look, it's probably not relevant now, but because these guys have a top speed of apparently 25, but yeah, a higher speed. Where are you off to, son? Yeah, I didn't think you wanted to go that way. I was thinking I hadn't built any ruddy trucks to come down this way. Do we have a road vehicle depot in Tucson, or did I demolish that? Oh no, it's out here, of course. I didn't want to waste valuable real estate in town. So if we could get, we'll say 6 for starters, that'll do. And we'll get you guys on the new delivery service for goods. Good goods. So back to all lines, please. We should have one called line 1. There it is. That's the one we will work on. We hadn't actually put any stations on it yet. So this one will be coming from this terminal here, Rockford South. You'll be stopping off in Columbia Sidings. I know you're having a fuss. Then you're going to come down to Tucson Holt. Okay, it apparently wants to do some sort of... Okay, so to get from Tucson Holt to Rockford South, the game, and it's very clever the way it's done this, it's decided, well, obviously the way you've put the signals up, you want me to keep going down here, around here, all the way around the back here, and yeah, that's not terribly efficient. So then you're going to stop off at Boston Central, and then you're going to come up here to San Bernardino Abattoir to turn around. And why do you insist on using the same platform there? Back through Tucson Holt to drop off. Actually, you don't need to drop off anything on the way back because you'd be dropping off food, but food will be coming in this way. So I'll remove that. And isn't that interesting? You've decided you want to use the passenger lines just to avoid going through that station there. Okay, well, I'll let you do it for now, but I mean, eventually we'll probably get rid of these points and we'll send you through Tucson Holt. In fact, no, we'll send you via Tucson Holt anyway, just in case you in the future we need to send something to Tucson from down here. We might end up putting fuel on this train as well, I don't know. Then you can come up to Columbia Sidings to pick up your plastic, and then you can complete the circle. So that should be, we'll call that Boston Interstate Freight, without the whatever that thing is called, apostrophe, I guess. So that should be a new line there, and that should supersede another couple of lines. Which lines exactly we're superseding, we've yet to find out. So this will replace Food Sinbad to Boston, so we can get rid of that. Now, what platform are you using at San Bernardino? Are you doubling up? You're doubling up on Minneapolis Interstate. So if I could get you instead to use Terminal 2, that'd be super duper, because this route is now going to be removed. We want to keep the cattle tucks to Sinbad going, though, so he can have his own platform as well. So Boston Interstate Freight, yep, that's fine. We're replacing that line, so I'll deal with that soon. We can close that down. So at Boston, we'd like you guys to use different terminals, please. So on the way through, we want you to use 3 is fine, but on the way back, I'd like you to use 4. No, I've got that arse about. Let's change that around. Is that better? Yes, because we've got to keep right. No, why have you decided to... Why do you think that's a good idea? What's wrong with this bit of track here? We may have to shoehorn a waypoint in there. Let's just make that happen. Let's just drop a waypoint in there. And where is that? That's after he leaves Boston Central. Good, that's what we wanted. Now, if I delete that... No, I don't want to remove all stations. No, I just want to delete the waypoint. No, it hasn't learned. Okay, so we'll have to keep that waypoint there to make sure he uses the right track. He knows what platforms to use at Tucson. And how about at Columbia? Now, you've decided you want to use the oil train siding, and that doesn't work for me. So if you could instead go through number 2. That's where all the plastic is anyway. Good. Now, that will also be replacing a train on this line, the plastic goods train. I think we're only replacing 2 lines at the moment. So how many vehicles we got on here? We've got one that's very out of date. These 3 we can probably repurpose. And that one we can probably repurpose. But I would... Oh, no, hang on. That's a general. No, we'll definitely get rid of him. And we'll get rid of these 2 Baldwins. So we've got a total of 5 trains on at the moment. I'll probably go for 6 to increase capacity. We'll go down at this depot here. No, because then we can't start off at the abattoir. So we'll go for this depot again and really jam up Orange Good. In fact, here's one we prepared earlier. How old are you? 4 years old. Well, fiddle-dee-dee. Can we buy you another wagon? No, I don't want to set line yet. I want to buy you another wagon. We can buy you another boxcar, and that puts you over length. Get rid of one of the older boxcars, because I'm all about reusing wagons if they're still fit for purpose. 151 meters, you will be our first candidate. Can I actually clone you? I can. I can still buy the old wagons by cloning them, but I don't want to do that, so get rid of that train. Was that the actual train? That was not the train I just built. Well, we may as well start again then. If I'm buying... I accidentally sold the existing train I wanted to reuse, so silly me. Let's just go with a brand new train with brand new boxcars up to 161 again. Bollocks. That's okay. Still got a good capacity of 132, which should be far more than any of these guys are packing. Yeah, he's only packing, 98? So, yeah, definite improvement. So, we're keeping these 3 trains on the new line, so that's fine, but we're going to replace these 4. Doesn't that bring us up to 7? I thought I was saying I was getting 6. Let's get 8 trains then. Yeah, why not? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure we can use this capacity, and if we can't, well, we've future-proofed the hell out of it, haven't we? So all these new trains are going to go on Boston Interstate Freight. These 3 trains we will retain and put on Boston Interstate Freight, and it should be a simple matter of just jettisoning their cargo. And oh, see, this guy's even keeping the cargo. What are you in some sort of traffic jam here? You are. Okay, we may have to address this junction if we're going to put more trains on. But yeah, so we'll keep these guys going because they're still good, and then these guys we'll just send to the depot. So that is the Food Sinbad to Boston line. It's just fine. F is up, dummy. Food, Sinbad to Boston. So these guys are generals, so we'll just send them off to the depot for scraps. And plastic goods starts with P. Here it is, plastic goods, Boston to Clum to Rock. We'll send you to depot. We may as well sell you. I don't think we'll be using you anymore. And we will delete that as well. So the plastic has now automatically reassigned itself to the new line. And what is the jam up here? What are we? Oh, we're waiting for an oil train to sneak across the front of the yard. That's a thing that's happening. So up here at Rockford South, where you can already see we've got 6 crates of goods waiting to go out on the interstate freight run. What are you? You should be the Minneapolis interstate freight running completely empty. That might take a little while to bed in. It also might be that we need to ship more stuff here to get more goods out. You want more plastic. Well, boy, have I got a solution for you. I just put a heap of trains on that line to bring more plastic up. In fact, this chap here has got 98 plastic with your name on it, Mr. Factory. So things are going to be looking up fairly soon there. Hopefully the food down here has figured out where it wants to go via Orange Annex. Yes, so we've got food and good waiting for Minneapolis interstate freight in both directions. And Boston interstate freight has plenty of food waiting for it as well. Oh, you're a dated looking train, aren't you? Yeah, we should probably continue on the theme of renewing things to finish things off today. We've probably got a fair few trains that are coming due for replacement. In fact, I recall we had a few error messages about things getting old, so let's just have a look. Train 12, you're in Boston Train Depot. You are now sold. Bye-bye. What else do we have? We have the Logs Planks train that's probably due for replacement. 31, 28, and 6. May as well just replace all of them, really. We'll go the Bull one again. It seems to be doing a good job. It's just a long, slow freight drag, so we don't really need to go the Mogul for that one. But we will go new state cars. Let's talk 160 metres of new state cars. And let's just replace all 3 of them. Yeah, get that happening. And crude fuel Boston, that was one we were going to upgrade last time before I got distracted. I can't remember if I told you I was going to upgrade it or not, but yeah, so this should be making a decent... It's actually making a loss. That's unusual. Yes, this is definitely a candidate for upgrading. Because what I'm thinking is we could truck the oil down here to avoid this nasty sort of hill here. Although as it's empty trains coming up the hill, it's not in itself a problem. The main problem lies in the fact that we've got too short a station here. So even though he's running a full run, he's just not doing it quick enough to... Oh, he's making a profit. Okay, so it must be the new wagons that's holding him back. But either way, what I want to do is move over to a longer, heavier train to ship more oil up to this refinery here to turn into fuel. Because we've actually got no fuel waiting to go to Orange, so the train is running empty. So that's definitely something we need to address. So I'm going to hit the pause button here because I'm going to do that. Yeah, I know, controversial. We've upset the apple cart in a big way. Now we've just upset the apple cart even more. Now, why am I doing that? Well, because when we started, we didn't have the ability to build sloped stations. Now we do. So I'm going to work on that assumption. Unable to align terrain. Yeah, I don't blame you, because we're trying to take a heckin' big chunk out of the mountain. So I'd like to go with a 200 metre station. How long was it before? I swear it was... because it's plus 200. Duh. 200 metres because it was 160 before, so I figure we get a little bit more length on that station. Maybe we go for 240. That's a reasonable length, and we'll just have to sort of squidge it in so it actually catches the oil terminal. It is going to have a problem with aligning the terrain, so that's why we're going to put it on a bit of a hill. It's already on a hill. Oh, I see, it's on the wrong type of hill. There's your problem. You're trying to put it on an uphill when it's on a downhill, or a downhill when it's on an uphill, or you're doing something wrong. That's par for the course for me, really. So we'll throw that station in. Now that it's on a bit of a grade, similar to the landscape, it should ease the grade for the empty trains coming up the hill. And we'll just smooth this out and then dig a big chunk out of it when we relay the track. So I'm hoping, the grade itself, not a problem for the empty trains. It's more these curves they're having to dick around. So 62, 63 is now the new low speed that they're going to get down to. So hopefully we can just sort of get a set of points in there. That's actually reasonably smooth. Don't hate that. I do hate the way it sort of, jiggers around up here. Jiggers around, that's That's a very technical railway term. Now I've made it ugly. Okay. Probably shouldn't have looked that particular gift horse in the mouth. How about that? Okay, so a slower set of points at the end there, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue, although actually that slower set of points would be for loaded trains. So let's just see if we can't tweak that so it's the empty trains going through the slow set of points. That's a bit better. And then we can join you up like that. And in fact, we've actually sped the points up as well. That's much better. I'm quite happy with that. And we'll need to throw down a few new signals just to make sure everyone is hunky-dory. We'll put a couple down here because, well, why not? We've got the capacity. You are the loaded train. Now you should be quite happy with things again. But yeah, so we've extended this to 240 meters. I'm pretty sure. Got to remember these things. I should really write this down. How long is this station? God knows. I don't actually know. I think it is. Okay, 280 meters would be that long. The buffer stop would be there. So how long did we make this? I think we made it 240, didn't we? No, because 240 comes to there. So how do I figure this out? Okay, so 120 is that long. 200 meters is that long. So if we go to 240, it's that long. 280? No, 320. We must have made it 320 meters long. Okay, good. So that, either way, that is a plenty long enough station. This one up here might be a bit of an issue. So we need at least 240. No, that's 240 as well. So it's probably just orange that's going to hold us up. Because I remember when we demolished it, we built a shorter one going, we're never going to need that extra capacity. Yes, okay, so orange needs to be extended, and it's having a bit of a terrain alignment collision issue. So we're definitely gonna have to hit the pause button for this because we're gonna be upsetting so many apple carts here. Now I'm sort of glad we thought ahead and quad-tracked that tunnel because we're gonna need a bit more room here. So if you could go 240 meters without any problem, that's 280. That's 240. You're gonna do it for me. I'd like to go 2 tracks. You've remembered where I wanted the transit track because you're a good egg. So that's good. I think everything is fine. Okay. So far so good. Let's just hope we can connect the tracks up. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch. We haven't actually had the chicken noise for a little while, so I'm hoping the chickens are still in existence because we need them to hatch and give us the sweet money that we need. And I see you, sneaky bit of non-demolished track. You're going to cause me problems, as you want to do. So we'll put this cross track back in here. No lines are reporting problems. There are no warnings. Good. It's just a matter of replacing the signals we removed, I guess. So you need a signal here. You probably don't actually, given there's a set of points there, but I'm going to put one in anyway. We'll also need a signal at the end of this through track here. It's got one for the platform, but I'll put one at the end there just for completeness sakes. I'll drop a signal in before the platform, although I don't think we can fit a freight train in there. It'll help speed things up anyway for the oil train if it does get held up. That should be fine. Orange should be okay. I'll one-way that signal to make sure there's no issues. And I'll one-way this signal here for the same reason. We should probably investigate putting a bridge in here, even though it means these two people will lose their houses, just for eventual traffic problems as we put more and more trains on this route. But okay, hit play again. Now let's talk about upgrading these oil trains. Now that's the station, dummy. And we also need to change the name of it because it's now not just Boston, it's Boston to Orange. Is that how we abbreviated Orange? I think it is. How would we find that out? We'd look at trains for starters, and we would look up one that goes to Orange. That's the one I just renamed. In fact, that's the only one with Orange in the name now because I've gotten rid of all the other ones. So yeah, we can just decide we can do what we want. So let's talk about replacement. How old are the vehicles? These two are still fairly young, but no, let's just clean slate this. We'll go with the Baldwin again because it's got the good pulling power. And we'll go with these new tank cars, even though I'm a bit disappointed in their performance so far. So we'll go up to 231. I don't think we'll get 240. No, see, I shouldn't have been greedy. I really should have just left it. So replace all 3 of them, please. Thank you, autosave. 23 million. Jeez, this better be worth it. And we got in just a second too late to actually get this chap to replace. So, good for us. What did I click on that for? I don't know. So are you still making a loss? You're barely eking out a profit. I'm hoping by making it a longer train, it'll offset the cost of the wagons. So hopefully we'll start seeing a return there. We'll start seeing more fuel come down to orange. By extending that station still has catchment to the truck stop, right? Yes, it does. Good. I was deeply concerned when I saw a bunch of trucks queued up not carrying anything that we weren't actually seeing a return. Why are you running empty? You're the Boston Interstate Freight. You should have come from... You should have come from here. You should have picked up... no, wait, hang on. Oh, you're still... The Boston Interstate Freight. Yeah, you're still coming out of the depot for the first time. My bad. And you're going into the depot for sale. Ooh, new gondola. And some sort of European bus has been invented too. That's exciting. You know, for an interstate freighter, I kind of thought that would be longer. We'll leave it for now, but we should probably address that in the future. So this chappie here will be the first train replaced, and that's actually the oldest one in the fleet too. That's good. You are still managing to make money though. You're doing better than the more modern ones. So hopefully that'll see more oil coming down from Boston Oil Well. In fact, we've actually drained the well completely now by the looks of it. Are you still trying to move? Mate, you're training wrong. Your brakes are on. You need to stop that or you'll break something. Are you doing that because you don't fit in the station? It's probably because you've just upgraded. Either way, that should hopefully see a definite increase in production here, which will see an increase in production here. You're not complaining about anything. No, you just want more crude oil. Why are you still producing processed oil? We're not actually taking that anywhere. Although, arguably, we could then set up a fuel/oil train up here to the chemical factory. If we run short of oil up here, we can always look at that. But so far, what are you waiting for? You're waiting for the plank train to try and lift himself up the hill. That's okay. That's okay. We're good. I think that's all we have time for today. I actually don't know how long I've been recording for, but I've definitely achieved my stated goal of setting up my 2 interstate freight trains to simplify the freight routes we've got going. I say simplify, we've got tracks bloody everywhere down here, don't we? We've still got plenty of cattle coming out here. I might finish off by adding another train onto this line, because yeah, they're going great guns moving the cattle down here, and well, we don't actually have much food going back, but we, for some reason, have goods going back still. So I might throw another train on that route to wrap things up today. So what would that be? That would be a Baldwin, because it's on a freight-only line, so we don't need the speed. And we'll go boxcars again, up to 160. That's exactly 160. That worked out surprisingly well. Cattle Tucson to Sinbad. Now, we still have a lot of cattle down here. My concern is the Minneapolis interstate freight is not sort of pulling its end of the bargain. So where are these trains? You are going through some sort of tunnel. Oh, good, you're coming down orange with a full load of food to replace all of the goods you've unloaded en route. That's good, that's working. Where are you? You're departing Minneapolis with a reasonable load of goods. We've got a bit of extra capacity on this leg, Minneapolis to the abattoir, but I don't see anything we can put on there unless we truck some cattle down, because then the cattle will all have to be unloaded, so we can use this. That's an idea that we might have to entertain before we wrap things up for today. If this episode ends up being way too long, I apologise. You're running completely empty, probably because we've run out of goods at the factory. Where are you? You're carrying a few goods out of the factory. Okay, that's good. You've just left the factory empty. That's not great. And you are approaching the factory, but that's okay. The route is clearly bedding in, but I think what we've learned is we need another train on that route, because we've sort of run out of capacity down here at the farm. So we definitely need to put at least another train on there. Where's the depot pointing in the right direction? That one isn't. This one here isn't. Yeah, okay. We might have to just send something around the long way. We don't have a depot at Minneapolis. Where else do we have a depot? We've got one here that's facing the wrong direction. No, we'll just chuck one down at orange and hope it filters through. eventually. So that was the Mogul, and that was about 160 metres of boxcars, I think we figured. We'll have to investigate lengthening that as well, and that should be on the Minneapolis Interstate Freight. So, oh wow, we've really attacked the old bank balance here. What are you doing? You're waiting for a path. You are making good money though. We should probably investigate double tracking down to Ventura on the eastern suburbs line, because we've double tracked from Minneapolis. So yeah, that's definitely something we need to investigate. But yeah, this bloke here is making his way down to Ventura. But yeah, we've got spare capacity Minneapolis to the abattoir. So we've got a farm here. We've also got a food processing plant there. So arguably we should just run shit down there. But I like making the most of our trains. So we've got a big hill, but it's all downhill. How easy would it be to actually run a shuttle train down with cattle on it? And although what would be the point, because then it'd be coming back empty unless we used it to send food into Rockford. It could also send goods into Rockford the long way. No, I might leave it. For now. We'll leave the extra capacity there because, we might actually find another use for that in the future. I don't want to sort of oversell it. We're doing quite good for food anyway, so we might just leave that. In fact, we're doing very well for food. So what's our limiting factor for lengthening these trains now? Because how long are you? God knows. I think you are 240 meters, aren't you? 240. Yeah, you're 240 meters. So the Minneapolis freight could, in theory, go to 240 meters. The only limiting factor would be this goods yard here, because I think this is still only 160. Show me 240. Yeah. It wouldn't be too hard to extend, actually. Let's wait for this train to get out of the way and investigate, extending that and hopefully getting a bit more capacity on this freight line here. I'll just hit the high speed button to get this bugger out of the way. You're empty, we get it, rack off. Is there anyone following you? No, passenger train, no. Okay, so we should be pretty right to do a bit of demolishing and rebuilding. Good thing we built this in this episode. I'm once again gesturing at the screen like a madman because we are now going to... I'll hit the pause button just in case. We'll get rid of that. And this junction here we'll have to get rid of completely, unfortunately, because, well, we're going to have to sort of rebuild it. So if you... Now, how long can we get this to go? Because we're aiming stated goal 240, but can we get 280? We can, quite easily. Could we go 320? We could even do 320. I'm going to try it. I don't know if it'll connect up at this end, at the Nashville end, but I'm going to try it. I'm hoping because the junction's already in place, it won't be too problematic. It's like a glove. It was made to go like that. There's no bumpy track. There's no weirdness. There's just a heck of a big freight terminal now. I love it. So you need to connect up just shy of this junction here. Okay, that's gotten a bit ugly. That's disappointing. We'll just try... Oh, I demolished something I didn't mean to. Thank God we paused the game. And of course it would happen to be where the junction is, so hopefully that fits back the way it should. Yeah? Yeah, okay, so you're gonna be a problem, so we need you to... Yeah, okay. How are we gonna... We need to get this as close to this T-junction as possible. So we need you to come off sort of like that. And like that. And then connect up. I know it's ugly, but we're now that we've got the junction the way we want it, we should be able to bulldoze back to the junction and make that a nice sweeping curve in without any unpleasantness. And we have... Good. We've now rebuilt the freight junction exactly how we need to, which is good. We'll need to put down a few more signals here, which is good actually, because this now becomes one interlocking. That should be fine. We've still got the signal there. We've still got the signals down here, and we just need to put one in here so freight trains can sort of start leaving the station. But yeah, that's good. That's good. Now we can go extend Rockford. This is going to be a bit messy with the road. Or we could just get rid of the road. It only goes to an iron ore mine. It's not like we actually need it for anything. And we'll extend this up to 320 metres just to sort of future-proof this end of it as well. Autosave going to interrupt as usual. It does important work, but it picks the most inopportune time to do said important work. So we've got quite a log jam of trains coming in. In fact, that's perfect signal placement. So we'll use you as a bookmark or a buffer or whatever you want to call it. We'll just speed things up to get rid of that guy. Okay, good. So we'll do a bit of bulldozing up here. Bulldoze, 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 bulldoze. Yeah, get rid of it all. Get rid of that. And that is really tight, but it fits. So, can we pull the same trick we did at the oil well? I'm going to try it, and I'm going to hope it doesn't go wrong. Why is it now forgotten the name of that station? Oh shit, we might have buggered something up here. No, it hasn't, it's remembered it. Please don't disappear. I'm going to hit the pause button so the station doesn't disappear, because I want it to actually remember. So station slope -4. No, that's probably too much. Let's have a look what it wants to do at flat. Yeah, okay, so what if we put it to 4? No, that's the wrong way. So we do want it in this direction, just not that much. -3, no, -2. That's all right. And we want what, 4 tracks? We'll go 4 tracks to yeah, that should be enough for now. And then we want to have 200 plus 120. Unable to align terrain. That could be an issue. Okay, so it doesn't mind building it like that. We might need to put more of a slope on this. What is it trying to snap to? No, it should be okay if we put it... Oh, here we go. This is getting cheaper by the minute. If we put it up here, it's cheaper and it's close to the factory. So it's like a win-win. And it's got a really ugly road. And we just need to sort of skew the track around to connect up to it. But that should be the easy part, he says optimistically. Yeah, look at that. That's really easy. That's just simple. Good. So connect that track up like that. So now everyone's going to want to use that one track there, which is not ideal, but, well, we'll have to sort that out in a second. So if we can we get a junction up there? Is that going to be... That's going to be all right. There's no ugliness down there. So connect that up like that, and then we'll just need a set of cross tracks in here to let everyone get to their correct platform. So that should cause a bit of a jam up here. I don't really know a way around that, but it's a workable solution. Has everyone decided to use a different platform? No, they've all decided to use the same one. So let's just yeah, we only needed 3 tracks, but that's okay. We've got an extra one for the future now. So that should be better. Yes, so everyone is now coming and going as they please. All we need to do now is throw down a couple of signals to protect the junction. And we should be pretty sorted. There's no warnings, so everything must be going all right. We'll start you again. God, you're a dinky little train, aren't you? Oh, because we've shortened you. Accidentally. Accidentally on purpose, I guess. We purposefully destroyed the line, but we accidentally shortened the train. We'll put a couple of signals down here to let trains creep up to the junction, just to minimise the amount of time they spend in the junction. And then we'll need to put down a couple of signals here to let them creep up towards the junction in this direction. Good. And we've already got some goods already starting to shop for the Minneapolis Interstate Freight, which is not that train, that's the Boston. What is your problem? You're jammed up behind this chap who's waiting for a free path. Where are you trying to go, son? San Bernardino Abattoir. It seems like you've skipped a few stations, I think. Shouldn't you be trying to go to Minneapolis Holt? What if we turn you around and turn you around? Yeah, there you go. Now you know where you're trying to go. You're completely empty, though, so it doesn't really matter if you go straight to the abattoir, but... there's a train in the way, mate. Hey, buddy. Yeah, thank you. I'd like to talk to the signaller that cleared that signal with a train already in the block. But yeah, look, I think we've either created a monster or we've set up a future-proof scheme of pure genius. Gosh, we've got a lot of cattle waiting here. We should really chuck more trains on that route, or make bigger trains, or both. We got a bit of argy-bargy going on down at the junction here too, don't we? Oh, bugger. Oh, before we wrap things up, I've just realised, yes, we've only got the single track going around this Y junction here. Okay, so we're going to keep going for a little bit because I really need to fix that, because otherwise we're going to have one heck of a logjam of trains trying to get onto the Minneapolis interstate line here. So yeah, we'll definitely need to double track this part of the junction for sure. That if we'd forgotten about that, that would have ended in tears further down the line, and I'm not a big fan of the tears. So let's fit that in there nice and neat. It's not the most attractive junction in the world, but gosh darn if it's not functional. What are you guys all waiting for? You're waiting for the train in front. Okay, that's fair. I would expect nothing less. But in future, yes, you're gonna use the other track, aren't you? In fact, I'm going to be cheeky and get rid of that signal. No, you're not supposed to move as well. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Someone's going to have to stop. Oh God. No, I think the wrong train stopped. Well, what are you going to exchange insurance details or what? Because that was just... look, I admit I carry part of the blame here. But one of you should be smart enough to realise, oh, there's a train in the way, I should stop. But now you've gone and hit each other. And this train up the back's coming in to sort of twist the knife a bit more. So I'm going to leave you guys to it and hope you sort yourself out. No, now what are you doing? You're Minneapolis Freight. Oh dear. Oh dear. Where are you trying to go? You're trying to go into the abattoir. I hope I haven't just track locked everything. Because you're now going to come in and block the junction. I may have created a bit of an issue here. Let's just see what happens with you chuffing down. This may be something we have to come back and address in the next episode. So you're going to clear the junction. Does that mean you can move? Okay, good. We haven't track locked everything yet. Nope, you're just going to scrape the paint off this poor chap here. Okay. We have a lot of freight trains, and yeah, I'm going to have to look at a solution for this because... Well, I like having a lot of freight trains. That's cool. I'm certainly not arguing with that. That is awesome. Having a lot of freight trains means a lot of action down here at the abattoir, and that is not something to be sneezed at. But yeah, it's a bit of a concern when they all have to sort of use the one piece of track, and it becomes one heck of a bottleneck. I'm really glad we put this freight track in now, though, because if we were still using these two passenger tracks, we would have one heck of a mess on our hands. Okay, what are we waiting for now? We need you to move. Oh, we need you to move as well. Let's just reposition a signal and see if we can't get the... Yeah, good. Okay, so he's now coming off the wrong track, and that should free everything up. Okay, we could probably put it back to normal speed. So we good? You can now leave. Wow, we have a lot of freight trains running, and I love it. Look at that. How good does that look? It would be better if they were all actually moving, though. Oh, shoot. At the end of the last episode, we put those trains aside in the depot, and I had intended to redeploy them on this line, so I might actually do that real quick. No, I want to click the trains, please. Yeah, bring the train windows up. Yeah, I would like to reposition these guys onto the Minneapolis Ventura line, and then we'll get rid of the generals on that line. So I'm hoping they can all find their way to where they need to be. Because they're just sitting in a depot costing me money, and I kind of actually want to use them. So now we should have... Well, we got a lot of trains on this line. We should have what? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is good because we can now retire all the generals, and we've even increased capacity. And we want to repaint them out of the black scheme because that really didn't suit them. So yeah, these guys, the generals, they've all been doing good work. I don't know which train I've clicked on here, but one of them is going up the hill very slowly. It's probably this fella. Yeah. So, you know, you've done a good job, fellas, but it's time to be retired. So just jettison your passengers because that's apparently what we do. 14 passengers on board. Send him to... Thanks, autosave. Watch. Send him to the depot, and all he does is just kick all the passengers out mid-route. So, you know, good for you. But yeah, that was something I meant to do at the start of this episode and completely spaced on. But hopefully that will increase capacity on our Minneapolis lines. Here comes one of our interstate freighters. You dropping off? You're empty. Good. It might take a little while for everything to bed in there, but we'll check back in on them next episode. But I've gone far too long. Oh dear, we've still got a bit of argy-bargy going on down here. And in fact, we're now even holding up the passenger trains. That's not good. Maybe we extend the freight line a bit, but yeah, look, we've achieved our stated aim. We didn't actually build very much this episode, which is disappointing. I like building things, but hopefully we're now going to move more goods, which means more profit because we went from 100 million to 25 million. Not actually making much of a loss each year. Let's break it down before we finish. Let's have a look. So because we spent $81 million on new vehicles last year, we only made a loss of 53. So we should be making about 23 or 33. I can't do maths. We should be making a lot of money a year if we can keep our mitts out of the store and stop buying things. So for example, this year, we've spent 15 million on new vehicles but only lost 10 million. So we should be 5 million in the green, which actually isn't that good because it's October. So let's stop looking at that because that's depressing. But yeah, so next time, hopefully we can get back to actually building some stuff. Hopefully we've increased capacity across the board on those main freight routes, and we can actually investigate getting some more consumer goods onto the market. We've definitely got a construction material factory up here that is begging to be connected up to the greater network, and we also still need to source some tools and machines for Boston. Boston is really could do with some more goods and food too, by the way. So yeah, that's something we'll look at. But until next time, this has been Transport Fever, and I've been T-Nick. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you all back here again next week for the next part, which should be part, 52 or whatever up to. But until then, catch you later.